Hey everybody, Eric here. Last night was crazy. Dave and I got to attend AEW Full Gear in Newark, New Jersey, and not only did we get to attend, but we had, for the first time ever at a professional wrestling event, we had media access. So not only did we have a great view of the show, but we also got to go backstage afterwards and attend the post-show media scrum. So if you've not watched an AEW pay-per-view before, they do a press conference at the end. Some of the talent stay in character, some of them do not. It's always kind of a crapshoot. But also CEO Tony Khan is part of the media scrum, and at least in my recollection, for the first time, the internet wrestling community, the IWC, had representation from the toy community there. We had the opportunity to ask toy-related questions directly to the AEW wrestlers, as well as Tony Khan himself. So this was a really cool opportunity for us, a really cool moment, to kind of have a seat at the table and to ask these questions, and as you'll see, to have them answered in a pseudo to serious fashion. So, this was obviously, as wrestling fans, wrestling figures have been part of the wrestling community for almost as long as wrestling has been on television. It's crazy to me to think that, after all of this time, we got to ask these questions at a media scrum that's recorded on YouTube, and will be there as part of AEW's kind of history. So, I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to let you hear my voice a little bit more, because you'll hear me ask the questions, but most importantly, you'll hear from Mercedes Moné, you'll hear from the Hurt Syndicate, you'll hear from Daniel Garcia, you'll hear from Private Party, and you'll hear from Tony Khan himself. So here's what we got from last night, guys. And of note, we had a little bit of a recording issue with our angle from our quick question with MVP and the Hurt Syndicate, so the footage might look a little bit different for that part, but otherwise you're getting what we saw from our seats. So enjoy.
Not all the way in the back, Adam. Do not give it to the guy all the way in the back. I don't know who that guy is.
Hi, Eric, Adventures in Collecting podcast. So the CEO is no stranger to having an action figure.
Which CEO are you talking to?
You.
Thank you.
But you have yet to have an AEW action figure. So when can we expect to get a Mercedes action figure into our collections?
This guy is not a fan. I don't like him.
Totally fan.
Let me just talk to
He's got a good point. He's got a good point.
He doesn't have a good point, because if he had a good point, then he would have known when I went to San Diego Comic-Con, they announced my action figure.
That's true.
Yeah.
But we
Hello,
can't
the
get it.
same place that Tony made the match with Britt Baker at All In. So you know what? You just need to be patient, okay? We already announced so many exciting things for 2025, so just wait. Your Mercedes Moné action figure is coming next year. One last question, because I have to go. I have to get out.
From the Adventures in Collecting podcast. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on winning the TNT title. Recently had your first action figure released, and seeing how the TNT title has been customized by pretty much everyone who's ever won it, do you have any plans to customize it, and do you see that as a way to get kind of on the front foot of getting another figure pretty quickly?
That's a good question, but I'm not really in it for the figures. I'm not really in it for custom titles. I feel like this is a belt with a lot of lineage. This is Cody Rhodes' title. This is Brody Lee's title. Adam Cole, Christian Cage. And I feel like I just got it out of the hands of somebody who treated it like a prop. And I feel like it's in the hands of somebody now who's going to treat it like a championship, and that's what it's going to become again. So no, I don't want to. I want to keep it like this.
Thank you, David.
What's up?
Guys, Eric, Adventures in Collecting podcast. You guys have had an amazing run right now. You guys are on fire. You guys have had
one action figure each so far from Jazzwares, but you guys have incredible ring gear that you're constantly rotating out. If you guys could make one additional action figure for each of you, what ring gear would you pick?
Ooh, that's a great question. Definitely where we won the belts. We get Young Bucks October 30th, in Cleveland, Ohio. If y'all watch it, maybe I'm
Also, when we beat them at 9th, because I like that gear too.
that was a good one too. Pink and blue.
Yeah.
And
Pink and blue.
so either tonight was really good gear too.
Yeah.
Tonight you beat neon green and some black. We changed it up. But definitely if I had to pick, I'd probably say the Nega beat the Bucks. It was like purple and not purple, but blue and purple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, blue, purple. Yeah.
As long as the belts come in too.
Yeah, the belts have to come in.
And the velvet rope.
And the velvet rope. And cheesecake.
Yeah. we should be like, you have cheesecake upper half, I have the lower half.
Yeah. You gotta collect them all. You gotta collect them all.
Eric from the Adventures in Collecting podcast.
From what?
The Adventures in Collecting podcast. They collect
Collectibles?
action figures.
Like toys?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You guys are no strangers to the action figure world, and you guys are no strangers to being together in a very powerful group. Very powerful group deserves a very powerful kind of collectible. How do you guys feel about maybe a 3-pack, a special box set containing all of you for the first time together to commemorate the group that you're in?
That's a brilliant idea, long overdue. Tony, make it happen.
It's a great
Next
idea.
question.
Hey Tony, Eric at the Adventures in Collecting podcast. So you mentioned wanting to reach those casual fans and your kind of tie-ins to wrestling through G.I. Joe, and as we've been talking about a lot tonight, action figures as a way to kind of get kids, get a younger audience, reach that kind of casual fan.
Yep.
You guys have flourished with Jazzwares over the years. The figures that they're putting out are great. The play sets. One thing we haven't seen is some of the iconic vehicles that have been featured on TV. So whether it's the golf cart, whether it's Sue's van, or in the lead up tonight, the scapegoat bus. So what are your thoughts on maybe getting some larger set pieces and vehicles made?
It's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I hadn't thought about it, but I think you have a great point. There's been some great vehicles and some great vehicular moments in AEW. So it's something to keep an eye on. It's a great point. And when you get experts in collectibles and toys in here, you get great ideas. So you guys have had some great thoughts on that tonight, and that's a good point.
Thank you.